College, Dustin Shepler. He's here with us 3 days a week, about what, 4 hours a day most days? So shadowing, kind of seeing what we do, see the process. I did ask him to sit through your whole meeting today, just to kind of see how that process works, so.
That's a shame. I would like to convene the election board for this action. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay. I have one for you. All right, I'm here today requesting that the board approve the absentee ballots. I do have extras if you don't have yours with you. I did provide you with 4 samples of those ballots, and I do have all 57 ballot styles if you'd like to see one in particular, but I am requesting that the board approve those so that we can start sending them out.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the absentee ballots.
I'll second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the ballots as presented by Mr. Anderson. Are there any questions or comments or revisions or anything we need to take a look at? If not, all those in favor of approving the absentee ballots as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Your ballots are approved.
Okay, thank you. I do have another request for the commissioners, I guess, instead of the board. So I'm not sure how you want to handle that.
We'll adjourn the Board of Elections.
So moved.
Second.
We're adjourned.
By request, I apologize. I thought maybe Michelle was going to do it with her HR section, but I made a request for a temp to deliver voting machines, and I was wondering if the board had the opportunity to bring that up to see if that has been.
I'll make a motion that we allow Michael to hire a temp to move voting machines.
I think Michelle will probably bring that in on the 5th.
Oh,
Oh, the 5th?
For a motion and with personnel.
he's been chomping at the bit.
Yeah, just so I can get them the opportunity to get me a qualified candidate. Plus, I know there was some.
When would that person? When would you begin their service begin?
Oh, it's not until. Sorry, I didn't bring that with me. It is the Friday before, so it would be September 23rd, I believe.
Friday before.
October?
So
You mean October?
yeah, sorry, October.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the 23rd. It's October. If I had a calendar in front of me, I could tell you. I apologize, but
Yeah, I think it's been emailed to them and she's discussed individually, but the action will be on the 5th.
on the 5th.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Right. So, but in the meantime,
apologize.
if you need to get somebody, if you need to notify them in the meantime, you can probably talk to Michelle about getting that done.
Okay.
I would like to discuss it though, just a little bit.
Yes, you can. she usually has that on her
Right.
docket.
Let me just ask a question. He made a motion.
Yes.
I mean, if
I
you
can
want to take
I
it.
can withdraw the
Well, my
motion.
question was if we get a second, would you let?
You could. I just wanted to make sure.
And I apologize. I didn't mean to bring it.
Oh, it's your pleasure.
Early.
We want
He withdrew it.
he interrupted. I was trying to explain my question. He said he thought I was going to ask for him to withdraw.
Yeah.
So if we could just be a little patient, I'm just asking if it would be the pleasure of the board to consider this now since it's been brought up and we're going to discuss it. Or would we?
Well, I just, as a general comment, I know Michael's approached me several times on it, asking if we could get it done, because he wants to find the right person through a temp force. He doesn't want to just call up and say, hey, send someone over. So, you know, I'd be willing to make the motion again if that's appropriate.
I didn't accept your withdrawals.
Oh, okay, well then I'm good.
Is there a second to the motion? I'll second the motion. Now we can have discussion, so you may proceed.
Surely. Michael, I know that you're not being blindsided because I've been asking for this information. I, first of all, think that we should have a vetted employee of the county handling the machines, and suggested perhaps someone from maintenance at the prison or someone else with those kinds of mechanical abilities, because I realize with Tim leaving, our maintenance staff here might be short-staffed at the present time. And I also question the validity, the chain of custody, if you will, hiring a temp employee who may not be available in the future should there be a challenge to an election. And the end result could be a very costly sum for the county because of the fact that we would have to perhaps hold a special election to redo it. I was made aware that there was no background check when this happened on a short notice in the primary. That needs to be corrected, in my humble opinion. And so at this time, I am not ready to move forward with hiring a temporary employee until all avenues of exploring one of our own vetted employees has been exhausted.
Would you like to respond? Oh, go ahead.
No, I would like to respond to that. You know, we don't do background checks on any employees, Commissioner, and you should know that. And that's been a problem, an issue that I've had over the years, that we don't even do background checks on any employee.
Michelle was just here a few moments ago and said that she does call people and
That's not a background check.
That's a reference.
Gee.
but we don't have resumes on the temp employees, we don't have their history of work, we have nothing on them.
They are, well, I'll let Michael.
Michael, yes.
Kind of two parts to that. The first part, as far as the temp, I did contact the temp agency today, which is Temp Force, and they will do background checks on individuals that we would be interested in having do that function. We just have to make that request of them. So their policy is they don't do it unless the company requesting that person requests that. So we would be able to get a background check on anybody that we would then be interested in having come in. The second part I really can't answer on the a county employee doing it. I can tell you that normally a member of the maintenance staff does it, and it kind of what happened in the primary was that individual just wasn't available, and it was a last second thing, and so that's when we I talked to Jamie about what our options may be and why we went the way of requesting a temp. Ideally, I would love for that to be, an employee of the maintenance department. I don't know, though, I can't answer the question as far as if there's any other employees that would be able to do that beside a temp. And the issue that I know that comes up is that we need to have somebody that's able to lift 50 pounds and is able to be on their feet most of the day, because they're obviously moving that equipment pretty much all day, and it is with another county employee. It's a two-person job, and so we do use a county staff from the Renova Center that's kind of the lead now with that, and then this individual works with him. So normally it's always two people together.
Thank you for that explanation. One of the main charges of the county is to safeguard elections, and I think that this goes to that specific mandate. And so therefore I respectfully request that this be tabled until we have all the answers.
I think that, Bill, did you have a question?
If we have a motion on the floor, now she's asking to table it.
Well, can we just have a little more discussion before we
Yeah.
move in any particular direction? I guess you're going to satisfy the background check issue.
Yes.
That's fine, thank you. And if there is a way, this election has to, it's going to come and we have to have it dealt with. So if there is a way of working the temp force person to cover with maintenance for that time frame and just switch off and have somebody from, I think that would be preferable if that could be worked out. Have the temp force person work in maintenance for that time frame. I don't know if that's possible.
We have one employee that has a workers' comp issue and on light duty, and the other possibility would be Joe then to.
Well, I'm just saying, that would be just a preference, or maybe not, Jeff.
Well, if I could just address, I guess, that, the only thing that's really being asked of the person who would come from temp force is to pick up machines from the truck, take them into the polling precinct, go to the next spot, do that again. We're just,
Yes.
I know that,
One of the things I should have
but-
mentioned, and I didn't, is those machines are sealed. So we have somebody come in that actually goes through all of the testing and maintenance and make sure the ballots are correct, and because I have all that prepared, and that's William Penn is the company that we have that does that for us and has done that for many years, and they seal them. So they're completely sealed. So what happens then is when the maintenance staff, normally it's two maintenance staff individuals, they come in and they're just moving them and they're sealed. And if those seals are broken at any point, then that is supposed to be immediately reported to me. So either by the maintenance staff if it breaks in transition, or by the judge who may find it on election day that would notify us that that has been, you know, that seal's been broken.
So further on so the person really is just picking things up, moving them over,
Correct.
putting them down. To have a temp first person replace one of our maintenance
Yeah,
people would be taking
Okay.
a skilled and, you know,
Well,
they're
yeah.
already doing the
Yeah,
work.
and I didn't know that these safeguards were beyond, so
Yeah.
once it's dropped off, I mean, it's still gonna be rechecked.
It's a very simple task, and
Yeah,
as he said, Rodney from Renova has been doing this for 15 years,
So,
you know,
absolutely.
and that's who
Nothing
accompanies
further.
you know, this is just help for Rodney.
Okay. Gordon?
Commissioner Litz, are you aware of any case law in which an election's validity was called into question because of this type of incident?
I personally don't care to be the test case. If there isn't any, I don't know. But I can tell you that the person that the temp employee would be working with cannot be 100% attentive the entire time, whether it's bathroom break, a phone call that comes in, whatever it is. And we want to remove any possibility of impropriety, any appearance of it. This is important stuff. These are elections. These are people's lives we're dealing with. And I really feel it has to be someone on our staff who we have worked with in a long time, you know, a good reasonable amount of time, and that we can find them after the election. So if somebody finds, oh my gosh, look, this one is broken, this seal, when it comes back in, this is important to safeguard the sheriff or a police officer has to be able to prove the chain of command and
Chain of custody.
chain of custody, thank you, got the wrong word there, the chain of custody. And this is important, and I feel very strongly about this.
Okay, anything else? Call the question. All in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay, we have a split vote, 2-1 in favor. We're entrusting this to you to make sure we get the background check. And
I think it's important to mention that I have total confidence in Michael Anderson as head of the department. And as indicated, this person would only be helping to move machines that are sealed by the contractor that guarantee safe elections for Lebanon County. We don't have a temp person guaranteeing those safe elections, nor do we have a maintenance employee guaranteeing those safe elections. We have the Board of Elections and the designated person who is head of the department, in whom I place my total trust.
I think Michael does a wonderful job too. I think Temp Force is a reputable company. I do know that there are some people who are transients. We have no idea who we'll get, or if there'd be consistency in who we got if we had to use them for another election. I think we should be training someone in-house and using that person.
okay, anything else? Try to get a forwarding address from that person too.
Okay, sure.
Thank you. All right, anything else?
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you, Michael, and good luck with your career.
Thank you.
Hope you learned a lot today.